Hey guys, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride, and today I'm here to talk about the 5 things I hate most about being vegan. So my veganniversary is coming up. If you guys haven't heard that term before, it's basically my anniversary of going vegan, pretty simple, and it will be 4 years on April 1st. And coming up to my veganiversary, I wanted to make a couple videos around what I like most about veganism, what I dislike most, thoughts and impressions after 4 years as a vegan. And I thought I'd start off with one of the more fun options, which is 5 things that I hate so much about being vegan. Now, I and other vegans who are on social media usually try not to talk about the stuff we hate about veganism too often because, well, we want other people to go vegan. And if you focus on the negative, people are going to see more and more reasons not to go vegan, not all of the amazing reasons that they should go vegan. So I tend to avoid this topic, but I wanted to share with you guys, in the interest of honesty, the 5 things that I hate the most about being vegan. So the first thing that comes to mind when I think about things that I hate about being vegan is the aggressive and defensive reaction you get from non-vegans. So this can be either when someone first learns you're vegan, or if it ever comes up in conversation that you're vegan, or they just think about the fact that you're vegan. People get really defensive and really aggressive if they're not a vegan and you are. Now, I totally understand this reaction, and I'm not trying to be judgmental or harsh on those people. I totally get it. I can understand where they're coming from of feeling defensive when they realize that I've made a different choice and that I obviously think it's the better choice. I know their thought process, and I understand why they feel like they're being judged and they have to explain themselves or defend their position. Totally. Now, that doesn't make it any less annoying or frustrating as a vegan that anytime it comes up that I'm vegan, or again, people just think about the fact that I'm vegan and I haven't even talked about it or brought it up in conversation, that people get really aggressive and defensive. Because I'm sure you agree, being around people who are constantly aggressive and defensive is not fun. Aggressive, defensive people are not fun people to be around. And as a vegan in a non-vegan world, that's kind of the effect you have on everybody. Now, after 4 years as a vegan, I have definitely come up with different ways to react to this and try to minimize people's aggression and defensiveness. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes I forget all of the things that I've learned, and I just kind of react to things people say, and that never helps the situation. If you guys are interested in hearing some of the things that I tend to do to try to reduce that kind of aggressive or defensive reaction in people, let me know in the comments below, and I can make a separate video on dealing with that kind of reaction from non-vegans in your life. The second thing that I hate about being a vegan is having to talk about being vegan all of the time. Now, I can hear what you're thinking. You don't have to talk about it all the time, you just do. And obviously there's the stereotype about vegans that they constantly talk about being vegan. But really, it's not just vegans who do this. Everybody constantly talks about what they eat. If you've never been someone who eats a diet that is not the norm, you might not have realized, but people talk about what they eat all of the time. Like, all of the time. If I had a nickel every time someone talked about eating meat or dairy or eggs or whatever, I would be a frickin' billionaire. So yeah, vegans talk about what they eat and about their lifestyle, but so does everybody else. And as a little experiment, just out of interest, when I came to Edmonton, I decided not to talk about being vegan for a while and see how long it took for it to come up. Not that I usually go into a new situation and say, "Hi, I'm Elizabeth, I'm vegan." But it usually comes up because it's something that is part of my life and I'm passionate about, and I talk about it because it's what I'm interested in. But I purposefully tried not to talk about it, and the amount of talk about eating animal products that happened in that first week and a half or whatever it was before it first came up that I was vegan was ridiculous. So when people throw out that stereotype that, how will you know someone's a vegan? Oh, don't worry, they'll tell you. It works exactly the same in reverse. How do you know someone's a carnist? Don't worry, they'll tell you. And once people know that you're vegan, they will ask you questions and bring it up and talk about it all of the time. And that in turn forces you to talk about it all the time, and then they blame you for talking about it all the time. It's a weird cycle and it's just annoying. Now, don't get me wrong, I like talking about veganism. That's part of why I have a blog and a channel where I talk a lot about it. But I don't want to be forced to talk about it 24/7 in social situations, especially awkward conversations that you don't want to have around lots of people, and people just keep egging you on and asking you more questions and pushing you to talk about stuff when it's really not the right setting. That sucks. The third thing that I hate most about being vegan is noticing cruelty everywhere. Once you go vegan and you realize how horrible our society is towards animals in pretty much every context, it's really hard to stop thinking about it. Because you see people everywhere eating animals, and while they're just thinking about eating a burger, you're thinking about the cow that had a horrible life and then was murdered so that they could eat that instead of a different kind of burger that was made from plants. And there's also the other aspects, the lifestyle aspects of it. So you see someone wearing a leather jacket and all you can think about is that used to be somebody's skin and now they can't live because they wanted to wear the jacket. All of those things are things that you can't really ignore once you've gone vegan. And that can be really, really hard. It can take a toll on you, and it takes a toll on me every day. And I have to remember to take care of myself, and that it's okay to sometimes block that out just for my own mental health. The next thing that I hate most about being vegan is having trouble eating out. And this has definitely gotten way easier in the past 4 years, let me tell you. It is way easier to find a vegan restaurant or a restaurant that has vegan options now than it was 4 years ago. But it's still tough, and it's hard when a lot of your friends aren't vegan or vegetarian and they want to go to like a steakhouse and all you can eat is a salad without any of the toppings. That's not fun. That's not a meal. And it sucks having to try to negotiate with non-vegans to go somewhere where you have more options when they're not really interested in accommodating you. I definitely miss sometimes being able to go into any restaurant and any fast food place and just order whatever, but I know that the choices I'm making now are far more important than ease of eating out. The last thing that I hate most about being vegan is the strain it can have on relationships. This is something that a lot of people talk about, and it's usually pretty noticeable at the start of your journey. But I feel like in some ways the strain intensifies the longer you're vegan because people realize that it's not just a phase, that it's something that is going to be part of you forever. And then it kind of hits home that you're different than you used to be, and that they kind of have to come to terms with this new person you've become, and the fact that the new person you've become makes them feel uncomfortable about their life choices. And that's hard. I miss the days where I could hang out with my parents and not get really upset by the choices that they made at lunch or the things that they nonchalantly say about killing animals or using animals. I miss the days when a friend could show me their new iPhone case and I wouldn't get upset and have to try to hide it because it was made of leather. It's hard to be a vegan with non-vegans in your life who you love and adore and care for. And to be honest, I haven't really found a good way to handle it. I just try every day to love them for all of their amazing qualities and to understand that they're not where I am yet. And hopefully someday they'll get there. And hopefully having me in their life, no matter how much of a strain my veganism has put on our relationship, hopefully just my presence there and showing them that it can be done will help them to get there sooner. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the 5 things that I hate most about being vegan. If there's any of these topics that you want me to elaborate on or make its own video for, I totally will. I'm so up for that. Let me know in the comments below. If you have different things that you hate about being vegan that I didn't mention, please let me know in the comments. And also if you have any tips or tricks for dealing with one of these 5 things, because they're still things that I struggle with every day, I would love your advice in the comments below. Also, if you want to let me know what day your veganiversary is, I would love to know. Mine's April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I want to know when all of your veganiversaries are. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you really soon. Bye. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Follow me on social media so we can be friends, and watch my last video right here.